No Michael K.
Oh, yeah. No Michael K. No Dan Grassa. Jake Asman in for Michael K. And Dan Grassa, who was supposed to be in for Michael K., but Dan feeling a little under the weather. So I found out at 9:30 this morning that there will be no Michael K., no Dan Grassa. Instead, Jake Asman with you till 3 o'clock. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great Thursday. It's Thursday, August 6th. Michael loves to give the date, so why not? 2026. We got a lot to talk about. You know, the intro says Michael K. is on the radio today. He's not afraid to say what he's thinking. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Yankees are a disgrace. This is my first time that I've been on this radio station since the day of the deadline on Monday. And I said, if the Yankees fail to make more moves beyond just the notable one of Garcia, Brian Cashman failed the fan base, he failed the city, and the Yankees are going nowhere. And I'm sorry, even though they called up Lombard, which I've been screaming for weeks, and he's looked good, part of my frustration with even that is he could have been up here weeks ago helping this team. Defensively, look how good he is. Hey, Aaron Boone, that guy is damn elite. Don't gaslight me and the fan base about Anthony Volpe. That guy is elite. Should have been up weeks ago. Even if he wasn't hitting right away, his defense alone will help the Yankees win games. How about Paul O'Neill the other night saying the Yankees haven't turned a double play like that all year? Yeah, because we've had guys who don't belong in the major leagues playing too many games at positions they don't belong to be playing in. So, I'm sorry. I am disgusted with how the Yankees approach the deadline, the gaslighting from the general manager trying to say, well, you know, we didn't need any of these catchers because, you know, they didn't fit the profile of what we were looking for. You know, we can't bring in another lefty catcher. What? You need a catcher. Let the Red Sox get a catcher. The Rays get a catcher. It's a bunch of nonsense. Instead, we got to watch Ali Sanchez last night in the ninth inning in a huge spot taking that bat. Are you kidding me? And then let me get the Boone as well, because he's not blameless in all this, even though I think the Yankees' issues are way more on the general manager than just the manager. You cannot double switch Luis Garcia out of this game last night if you're Aaron Boone. You can't. You cannot do it. You're going to pinch hit Austin Wells for Paul Goldschmidt? Okay. Debatable if you're going to do it in that spot. What, seventh inning, one out, nobody on? Debatable to do it then if you're going to, you know, press the button, use your bullet in that spot. Debatable. Goldie hits a double. Okay, it seemingly works. You cannot take Garcia out. You can't. He's too important. He's the Yankees' best hitter right now. Ben Rice is in a big slump. Garcia is either the best hitter or their second best hitter. You pick. You cannot take him out of the game in that spot. I thought that was atrocious by Boone. And I said this in real time. If you're listening, you're going to have to believe me. A disgusting loss last night. Losing 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals, who aren't any good. And that bullpen, which stinks, mowing down Yankee batter after Yankee batter, it never ends. It's more of the same. Trent Grisham, 8 for his last 70. Can we get him out of the leadoff spot? For those bad at math like me, sources tell me that's a 114 batting average from your leadoff hitter. You know, the Yankees are so pathetic, they don't even show the batting averages on the big screen anymore at Yankee Stadium. It's all just OPS. Because they have a lineup littered with guys all hitting 220 or less. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. On the morning of June 25th, the Red Sox were 15 games behind the Yankees in the loss column. And now they're dead even. And I've felt this way for a while. You could kiss the American League East goodbye. I was going to hold out hope to see if Cashman finally would act like a guy with any sense of urgency. But when you have a job for life, why would you? Why would you? Why risk the stability of the Yankees going to the playoffs every year? Who cares? Who cares? Seriously. That does not make me or any Yankee fan out there that feels that way a spoiled Yankee fan. It doesn't. We see what's happening here. A team that's good, but never good enough. That's what we see happening here year after year. Let's just be good, slug our way to the playoffs, beat up on some bad teams, and then we'll lose short of winning a championship. That's the Yankee standard. The Yankees are just like every other team in baseball now. They used to be different. The Yankees are not the Yankees anymore. They're just a good franchise. They're not the Yankees. They used to mean something. And I love the people, because I'm sure there's some Met fans that are saying, oh, spoiled Yankee fan, Jake Asman. I love the people out there who go, you know, it's only been 17 years since you won a championship. Like, boo-hoo. You realize there's an entire generation of people that have now grown up that have no idea what it's like when the Yankees win. 2009 is a long time ago already. 17 years ago. And it's funny because Brian Cashman and Alex Rodriguez don't get along. Brian Cashman should be kissing A-Rod's feet every day because if they did not win that championship in 2009, we'd be going on 26 years without a title. And we'd be saying the new Yankee Stadium is cursed and the Yankees will never win there because they got rid of the house that Ruth built. I mean, it's enough. You get the news yesterday, Judge is going to play again this year, he says. He's going to start the ramp up. He's still a month out. You're 6 games back in the division right now. I know it's 5, but hear me out. You play Tampa again next month. If the Yankees don't sweep that series, Tampa has the tiebreaker. So it's basically 6 games. The Yankees aren't catching the race. The Red Sox are going to pass them. They don't lose. They don't lose. It's mind-boggling how this has all happened the way it has this year. And don't tell me it's just the injuries because it's not. These are problems that have plagued the Yankees for years. The run-it-back strategy, did you really think Trent Grisham was going to be the same player? Can you definitively rely on Aaron Judge at age 34 to win the MVP every year? Stanton, gets hurt every year. Bellinger's tough luck. It happens. The Red Sox right now don't have some of their best players, like Roman Anthony. I mean, it's amazing. Chad Tracy's probably going to win the Manager of the Year for the Boston Red Sox after they fired Alex Cora. And they were done. I think they were worse than the Mets when they made that move at the time. Think about that. But last night was just so disgusting. From the approach from the Yankee hitters, Wells still getting meaningful at-bats. It's a joke. And yes, they called up Lombard, and I'm very happy for him and his family to have that moment in his first game. But him being as good as he already is on defense is another reminder that he should have been up weeks ago. Weeks ago. You knew you weren't going to trade him. Brian Cashman basically said that. Said Detroit wanted a very specific ask when it came to Skubal, implying it was Lombard or no deal. So you weren't going to trade Lombard for any other player. There was no one out there you were going to trade him for. Mason Miller didn't get traded. God, it's embarrassing what the Yankees have become. Oh, they'll make the playoffs as one of the wild cards. Great. That doesn't mean anything. And winning the division matters. I don't care how good the Yankee pitching is. Under Aaron Boone, they have never, ever been to the American League Championship Series in a year they didn't win the division. I have a 9-year sample size on that. I don't believe in this team. I don't care how weak the American League is. We keep saying that. The thing is, the Yankees are part of the reason why the American League is so weak. You allowed the Cardinals last night to win their first series over their last 6. It's their first series win since before the All-Star break. That's who the Yankees are losing 2 out of 3 to at home. You didn't add another reliever at the trade deadline. Didn't add a catcher. Didn't go out there getting Luis Arise. Oh, but you couldn't get Garcia and Arise. Why? Because we got to keep giving Jazz Chisholm at bats? Why? Oh, where are you going to play Jazz? If you make that trade, Jake, I don't need to play him. Get him off the team. Or play him at third. And if he can't do it, you're on the bench. But we do the same thing over and over again, year after year, and we expect a different result. And sure, with a $300 million payroll, they're going to make the playoffs as one of the wild cards. Because as bad as the Yankees have played, they're not going to collapse to the point where they actually miss the playoffs. Because you have 3 wild cards now in Major League Baseball. It's pathetic. It's watered down the product. And from a Yankee standpoint, it has eroded what was once supposed to be the gold standard for brands in baseball. Gold standards for franchises in sports. They're not that anymore. The Texas Rangers right now are 57-58. The Guardians, who are going to play the Mets coming up shortly here, which is why we're stream only and on YouTube, are 57-58. That's the third wild card right now. Those 2 teams tied. But the Orioles, who sold at the deadline, by the way, traded their former number 1 pick in the draft to the Boston Red Sox. They're a half game out of the final wild card. That's the Yankee standard. Oh, we're one of the wild cards. Woohoo! Lose the division to the Red Sox, who fired their manager and were 15 and a half games behind you. Or you're going to lose the division of the Rays with a $50 million payroll. I might have added an extra $20 million there. I don't even know the official number. Joke. Absolute joke. Don't tell me about the injuries. Does this magically get better next year when you build your whole team around Aaron Judge? He's going to be 35 in April next year. Guess what? When you're 6'7", and you're as big as Aaron Judge, injuries are going to happen, especially as you get older. So they're just magically going to be healthy next year, and all is fine. I mean, the erosion of the Yankees standard, the way they didn't act at the trade deadline, and just thought, well, we'll just call up Lombard now. Do the old okey doke on the fan base. Everyone wanted the pitchforks out for Brian Cashman. Here's Lombard. Go chum to the masses. And he's really good, and I'm rooting for him. But Anthony Volpe had a really nice debut game, too. I remember he stole a base. We're all excited. They needed more impact, and they needed it now. And what kills me, because I brought up 17 years, entire generation of Yankee fans, they don't know what it's like to see this team win. Aaron Judge is going to replace Don Mattingly as the greatest New York Yankee to never win a championship. That's where we're at. This team's not winning this year. They're not. They're not better than the Rays. I don't care. We keep saying how good this Yankees team could be when they're healthy. Well, let me see them healthy first. And when we say that, that also assumes that by the time Judge and maybe Stanton or Bellinger, these guys, they come back, that no one else then gets hurt. Like, it's not like we could press a button and say, we just need to get to this date, then everyone's back. No, you can't turn off injuries like it's MLB The Show. Other guys could then get hurt. So just relying on this strategy, this prudent strategy, oh, I'm Brian Cashman, I have a job for life, my last name is actually Steinbrenner, joke's on you, Yankee fans. Relying on that strategy is asinine. Asinine by the Yankees, how they approach the deadline. And I don't need the excuse, well, we couldn't bring in any catcher because, man, just weren't a lot. There were too many left-handed guys out there. We needed a right. Really? I have never been so disgusted and down being a Yankee fan in my life because nothing changes. And then we're called crazy by Met fans or my guy Don LaGreca because we have the audacity to expect our franchise, that's mantra is championship or bust, to go for it like the two teams in their division did. It's a joke. I get it. You're going to have a drop-off when you lose Aaron Judge. No one's saying that we should expect the same run production. It should not be this bad. They don't score runs. Every game, the Yankees have 2 runs. Every game. And, of course, the one game they finally broke out, it basically was like they lost the game twice against the Cardinals the other night. Come back down 6-0, come all the way back, take the lead, and then still lose by 5 or 6 runs, whatever it ended up being. Disgrace. Don't worry, though. We have sound from the manager. Here's Aaron Boone on the lack of Yankee offense. This ought to really clear the air.
I thought Payante was good, but we got to get it done. We got to come through in those situations. Like the opportunities tonight. Had a lot of chances. Felt like base runners every inning, but we gotta be able to deliver, and we haven't done that enough. So tough one to lose into the off day. But the timing of the off day with the stretch we've been in is good, and hopefully allows us to recharge and get ready for a tough Braves team coming in. But we got to be able to capitalize more often in these situations.
Here's why the off day is good. We don't have to watch them play anymore. I'd rather watch Kenny Pickett and Carson Beck play against guys who are going to be bagging your groceries a month from now. I'd rather watch that this evening in Canton, Ohio, than the Yankees. And you know what stinks about the Yankees always doing this in the summer? I think I said this a couple weeks ago when I filled in for Michael K. And by the way, I am not Michael K.
No Michael K.
Jake Asman in for Michael. You know what stinks? The Yankees used to be awesome in the summer growing up. The Jeter years. I used to bring a transistor radio to Camp Canadensis, where I went to sleepaway camp, just so I could listen to Yankee games, because growing up, they were good in the summer. Baseball is a summer sport. They're always bad under Aaron Boone in the summer. The June swoon, it's a summer swoon. They stink. They do the same thing every year. Great start, collapse, play well enough to still be a playoff team, and then they lose. The one year they went to the World Series, it counts, but with the caveat is they beat the American League Central Drubs. They beat the Royals and the Guardians. And you know what's sick? This thought actually came through my head, and I don't agree with the premise, but I at least thought about it. I won't lie. The thought I had, what if they just totally collapsed like the Mets did? If they were to miss the playoffs, would that actually cause Hal Steinbrenner to wake up and act? Would he actually go out there and say, maybe it's time for a new baseball president? Maybe it's time for a new manager? I think that'd be the end for Boone, but I don't know if it's all Boone. I know it's not all Boone. This is a roster construction problem when I got to watch Ali Sanchez in a big spot hit last night. When I got to continue to watch Grisham and Jazz and McMahon and stiff after stiff in this lineup. Tell us how good Volpe is again, Brian Cashman, please. Dominguez. Volpe. Wells. Why is it these Yankee players regress or they don't pan out and then we prospect hug and don't go for it? And Brian Cashman had that quote years ago on this very radio station on the Michael Kay Show that it's not about championship, it's championships. They have one title since 2009. They have one World Series appearance since 2009. Again, for most teams, the Yankee run, it'd be like, wow, that's awesome. But if you really see what's happening here, you see a team that has a $300 million payroll that can make the playoffs in an American League where half the teams make it. And an entire division of said American League is bad every year and doesn't spend much money. They should be in the playoffs every year. That's not some remarkable accomplishment. They don't win the division regularly every year, and they don't go to the World Series. It's not like they're just not winning since 2009. They have one trip to the World Series since 2009, and the guy who put the team together never is held accountable for it. And it's insane that on August 6th, I'm calling the division over for the Rays or the Red Sox. One of them's going to win it. It's not going to be the Yankees. And Aaron Boone's track record is if they don't win the division, they don't even get to at least the ALCS, which, by the way, is not an accomplishment. It's the bare minimum you would expect most years for the Yankees. But we got one World Series trip since 2009. One. And when they got there, the scouting report on how to beat the Yankees with the manager they still employ, the same guy, is make them play baseball. Again, the Yankees used to be the gold standard. They're just a normal franchise that's pretty good. A lot of teams would take that. A lot of fans. Pittsburgh fans would love it. Reds fans would love it. Met fans, you'd love it. But that's not the point. The Yankees were what the Dodgers now are. Even the Red Sox, for all their issues, count the championship since 2004. And what's scary about this Red Sox team is one of my best friends is a diehard Red Sox fan. He goes, it's starting to feel like 2013. I almost puked. Because that Red Sox team wasn't very good, and they somehow won a World Series. And with how hot they are right now, would it shock anyone if the Red Sox got to the World Series? They don't lose. I keep waiting for them to cool off. It hasn't happened. It is disgusting. And the Yankee fan deserves better than the slop we got from this general manager at the trade deadline. The prospect hugging is egregious. Egregious. And just the lack of just trying things different is insane. How is Trent Grisham still batting leadoff? How? How are we double switching Luis Garcia out of the game? He's the only guy that's hitting right now. Well, still being in this lineup is a disgrace. You cannot sit here and objectively analyze this team and think they're doing anything. Even if they get some of these guys who are injured, they get them back. What evidence do you have that they're going to come back and be at peak performance? Aaron Judge shows up, he just starts hitting immediately? Really? That's what the expectation is? That's not fair to Judge. But no one's going to care. If Judge struggles in the wild card round and the Yankees lose, he's going to get killed for it. That's the spot that they put Aaron Judge now in. He's got to come back and be Aaron Judge immediately. That's not fair to him. But don't worry. Brian Cashman's got a plan. Plan that works every year. Just ask him.
The Jake Asman Show is brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out PrizePicks right now. If you're a sports fan, they have something for everyone, especially if you're one of my listeners and you're gearing up for the upcoming Jets season. For player picks on PrizePicks, you just pick a player you like and you go more or less on a few of their stats. Check out some of the numbers they have for some of your favorite Jet players. Geno Smith, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper Jr., Kenyon Sadiq, and many more. PrizePicks should be your go-to. And check out their new offer right now. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you need to do is sign up and use that code HMA. That's PrizePicks code HMA. Download the app now or click the link in the description to download the PrizePicks app today.